Hi, Blue Earth area teachers. This is Colby Swanson, just going through to show you how to use the new core advisory website, especially with our BEA Buck Pride Days. In order to find the link, you are going to go to Links and Resources on the Blue Earth area homepage, Student Resources, so both staff and students can access this. It's not able to click on the icon, but underneath it where it says access to the core advisory site, you're going to click, and that brings us to our site. Now, for the calendar, you just click on this top calendar tab. It brings us to our core advisory calendar. A little change, as stated in the email, is that we will have two BEA Buck Pride, formerly known as our character days, this Tuesday and Thursday. We initially had the Buck Recognition Day planned for this Thursday. We have too many peer helpers out of the building. Tentatively, I think we're shooting for Tuesday the 16th, but nothing's set in stone. To go to the BEA Buck Pride tab, you go to here in the upper right-hand corner. As I click on that, it brings me to the BEA Buck Pride page. I will go through with you at the end of the week in a separate video how to cast your vote for the BEA Buck Pride Student of the Month. That will be again next Tuesday. As we look at the rotation for that, the rotation would be for the month of October. And again, this is a week from Tuesday, the 16th. 8th grade would have math and music. 9th grade student would be from the science department, Phy Ed Health or Spec Ed. 10th would be social studies, Spanish art and business. 11th, English language arts and tech ed, ag, and fax. Seniors, math and music. I close out of that tab back to our core advisory website under the BEA Buck Pride Day. For October, November, and December, our theme will be perseverance. We have options available. There are 9 lessons available so far for a total of 6 days. So you can pick the 6 of the 9 lessons that you feel comfortable with. The first being perseverance video lessons. There's 4 lessons available here. I click. This is more traditional if you're used to the old character day lessons. On slide 1, we have our perseverance opening title page. On page 2, slide 2, this is the table of contents. As you can see, lesson number 1 is a graduation speech. Lesson 2, a TED Talk by Angela Duckworth on grit that we've probably watched in the past, but always a good reminder. Lesson 3, Life in Dietrich, the life of A.C. Shaw, who's a girls basketball coach in Idaho. Really amazing story on him that ESPN did. And this one, if you are going to choose it, I suggest you preview it most definitely. All these lessons are possible to just kind of open and go. But this one, this lesson number 4, looks at rapper Logic's hit song 1-800-273-8255, which is the suicide hotline, a song that's been widely popular. Most of you have probably heard it. So a lesson on that. So again, I would suggest you preview it. Works just like it has in the past. Lesson 1, the video on the left, questions on the right. Lesson 2, video on the left, questions on the right. Lesson 3, the video is a link. The discussion questions are there. And lesson number 4, video 1 and video 2. So the video lessons, a lot like you've seen in the past. The reading lessons, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. This is a link to another district's webpage. It's from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Stephen Covey. The chapter that I have for perseverance will be the chapter on being proactive. And as you can see, it starts on page 55 And that chapter in being proactive is habit number 1. If I were to, students can have access to this page. So if you want students on their Chromebooks reading along with you, I'm going to scroll to page 55. Be proactive. You can read through. On page 76, there's a few discussion questions to follow up with. So this is probably a 2-day lesson if you would so choose for this to be your lesson. Again, there are 9 lessons total. We only have character days or BEA Buck Pride days 6 times, so you can choose your 6. The last but not least, I'm kind of excited about this, comes from a book shared to me from Miss Christian. These are active learning activities. The first one being an auction block, which looks kind of fun. I click on the link. It first tells me that the topic area is goal setting and values, 20-minute time frame, supplies. There's 1 auction list handout per person. This could be an electronic version, or you could choose to make copies. Again, with these active learning activities, you're probably going to want to preview them a day or 2 days in advance to make sure you're ready. So if I click on that, it gives me the explanation for the auction block lesson, and it tells me exactly what to do. Basically, I'll let you read through it if you want. Each student has $2,000 to bid on each of these kind of desired outcomes in our lives, and you get $2,000 to bid, and it looks like a fun activity, something I haven't tried before. Lesson number 2 is mind power. This one requires metal washers and a 15-inch string. I'm going to have these set up in kind of on the counter in our mailbox room, back by where the printer and Myrna used to be, kind of on the inside, on the other side of our mailboxes. And last but not least is a long-term, short-term goal setting activity that has a lesson that goes with it. Just kind of introductory lesson on what SMART goals are, what goals are, and some samples. X out of that, and then a SMART goal template for students to fill out. So this is something you'd want to share with students. They can type in here, they can edit it. So if they would want to make a copy, there's also a long-term goal setting visual aid that they can use, a graphic organizer, I guess, not really a visual aid. If you double click, you can edit that on your own. There is a sample graphic organizer right here. So that brings us to the end. So again, those are the activities available to you. Choose what you're most comfortable with. Choose what you think your students need most. Again, hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to email or stop by, no problem. My prep is 4th block. That's it. Have a great week.